Hey guys, welcome to today's tutorial on Unix basic file commands and how to navigate the file system inside Unix. So right now, if you see my screen, I'm inside a Linux distribution running a Unix terminal, and we can perform any kind of Unix commands here, right? So let me get started with the you know uh, most of us are familiar with the Windows file system, like as the most distributed commercial operating system in today's world, right? Taking that reference, I'll be talking about the different commands that we use to manipulate files or navigating the directories and all that. So let's get started. So this line that you see here is live user, the name of my user at localhost hyphen live, which is basically my computer name, right? So what happens is the very first command I'm gonna explain is public working directory, right? PWD. So when you say PWD, that will tell me where I am, right? So I am inside the home folder live user. Compared to Windows, this is basically your C slash users slash your username, right? This is the counterpart of that. So the next command that I'm gonna explain is ls. Ls basically lists the contents of that directory where we are currently sitting in. We are sitting in home slash live user. So if we use ls, it will tell me that I have desktop, documents, downloads, music, pictures, public templates, and videos. So these are all the files that folders that are available under ls, right? So I'm gonna also explain one more variation of ls command that is very popularly used, that is ls-ltr. And if you do that, it will give you detailed a bit more details about the files or folders that are inside your current directory, right? So for example, you can see the first column. The first column here are the file permissions. Okay, I'll explain that. In the second column, we have the indexes. The third column is live user. What is the user of that file? And then basically this is when was it created, right? So and then the time of creation. So all of these details you can get from ls-ltr. Now basically, if we go inside, how to go inside one of the folders, right? So that's our third command. So I will do cd and I want to go inside desktop. Okay, so now you can see that we are inside desktop, and again if I do ls-ltr, it will show me that there are no files on the desktop, right? So let's create a file. To create a file, we'll use touch command. So we can do touch and then create a file called maybe test.txt, right? So now if I do ls-ltr, so it will say that I have one file which is called test.txt, and then it has these permissions and all, right? So that's about it. So now that we have created this file, let's write some text inside this. So I'll use test.txt, then I'll say this is text file. So then basically now we can see the contents of the test.txt file using cat command. So we use the cat command to see the contents of any of the files. I'll explain the vi commands and the vim commands later in a later video, but for now you can learn about the cat command. That cat is used to basically read out the contents of the file. Okay, so coming to the next command, is basically we have created this file in desktop. Now let's say I want to move it inside uh, maybe the downloads folder, right? So right now if I do pwd, I'm inside desktop. So how do I go back? You don't have a back arrow in the terminal, right? So what you do is cd dot dot, and then if you do pwd, see, you're back on the main user where you have desktop documents downloads, right? So I'm gonna go inside downloads, right? And then if I look at the files, we don't have any files. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy the file that's inside desktop into downloads. For that I have to use cp, that's the copy command. Now cp, the syntax is cp space source file space target file, including the paths. So for my source file I have to go one step back and then go inside desktop folder. For that, dot dot is the command to go one step back, slash desktop, and then I want to copy it inside downloads where I'm currently already present in, so I don't have to give any path, right? And I'm gonna call it test.txt. I hit it, right? Now if I do ls inside downloads, you see test.txt, and you can see the contents of the file again with cat command, right? So the file got copied. Similarly, you can rename a file, or basically cut a file using move command. Move is basically the cut counterpart and the rename counterpart combined together from a Windows reference standpoint. Okay, so let's say I have test.txt. I want to rename it to test2.txt. So I'll say mv test.txt and then test2.txt. Now if I do ls, I will have test2.txt and the contents of test2.txt will remain same, right? So that's the basic purpose of ls, cp, move, cat commands and all that, right? So so basically you can traverse the directories, you can go back using dots, and then you can move forward using the slashes, and then you can use ls-ltr to get details of the files. So those are basic file navigation commands that we have. And there's another one I want to explain, but it's a bit more complex one, so pay attention to what I'm trying to say. So let's do ls-ltr in this directory. See, you have something in the written in the first column, right? It says hyphen rw hyphen r hyphen hyphen r hyphen hyphen. What does it mean? So it means that it can be readable and writable by the owner, but it can only be readable by other users. Okay, so there are some permissions that are set on each of the files that you create. Okay, so for changing the permissions, you actually need to decide who do you want to give what kind of permission. So maybe it's just you that wants to write into the file and all other folks that are going to use the file will just have read-only access, right? For that, the permission that we have is perfectly fine. But if I give something like chmod 744 and test2.txt, right? Now if I do ls-ltr, what it is saying, it's saying that I can read, write, delete, and like edit all these files. Okay, and but the users can only read the file. Okay, now if I do chmod 747 test2.txt ls-ltr. It means now the users can also read, write and edit this file along with the owner. Okay. um, and then if we want to give full permissions, we have chmod 777 and then test2.txt. that will basically allow any of the users or anyone who logs into the system to be able to write, read, edit, delete everything, right? So that is the chmod command, and it's very useful to determine who to give what access before you run this command, right, as an administrator. So I hope I have explained the basic file navigation commands, and you have grasped the concept of file manipulations, moving, copying, listing, and changing permissions of the files. So that's it for today's video, and hope you enjoyed it. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I suggest you do so for more such videos, and thanks a lot for watching.